Outcome, Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana, and he claimed that this was his house when he debuted at Revolution 3 years ago. It's the end of Black History Month. I made Black History, becoming AEW champion. I'm no one-hit wonder. And Nana's right. The title has not been my focus of late. I'm still the man, and he needs to right some wrongs first, and that means Ricochet. He says, we're done when I say we're done. So Ricochet comes out, and he states, Swerve, you had your chance. Winners don't chase losers. And he's getting tons of boos and just piles on the Padres, the Chargers deserting this broke-ass town. And then Nana informs him, I spoke with Tony Khan today, and you know what that means. And he makes an offer where if you give Swerve a rematch, the winner will be the number one contender. And with that, Ricochet just does a 180. Like this totally changes his thought process here. My question is, why isn't he already the number one contender for beating Swerve? Beat him once.
I guess you have to negotiate for an official number one contender status because we don't have rankings anymore, John. So, I mean, a lot of people are enjoying a lot of wins.
Well, I'm glad we don't have rankings because this would give you a headache. That Swerve has lost to Ricochet. He has lost to Bobby Lashley. And meanwhile, we're promoting Will Ospreay's 8-0 this year.
Yeah.
Where's that guy's title match?
Maybe Ospreay's not interested yet in this championship. He's got to deal with Kyle Fletcher first, right?
Okay.
You got to ask. You got to really beg. And Prince Nana is a very good negotiator. I think we've come to learn. Again, I like this. Okay, like you're putting this was already, I think, a really hot feud, Ricochet versus Swerve. Now you're putting title implications into it, so we can expect. Well, who do you think is actually going to win and actually get the
Swerve
title?
needs to win this match. He can't lose a second time.
I don't necessarily. You're probably right. But I also, because I think the title picture between Mox and Cope for me is in doubt. I don't necessarily know who you would oppose the winner of that particular match with, because depending on whether a babyface or heel wins, that would affect the outcome of this one too.
Well, Ricochet is making it very clear we are not doing this tonight. And this crowd probably realized this was not happening tonight because Nick Aldis is not running this show, so we don't have any open spaces. So he says we're going to do this in a real California city at Revolution. And then after Ricochet leaves, Nana needs to speak with Swerve. I'm glad you're making the title your top priority. You need to go back to being the most dangerous man in AEW. And Swerve, I've taken a lot of bullets for you. And he lists off all the guys that he has taken bullets for Swerve to protect. But God damn it, I need that robe back to fix my legacy, or else I just can't do this anymore. And he leaves Swerve to realize that I need to get this robe back or lose Prince Nana. We are now at the point he desperately needs to explain the significance of this robe, because outside of the one time that Ian Riccaboni has brought up like Jimmy Rave, I don't think they've really conveyed.
I mean, the video earlier kind of did that with Ricochet, right? Like they showed you footage of Nana at least in ROH with the robe. They did not show Jimmy Rave footage, which was kind of peculiar. But
outside of the one time Ian Riccaboni mentioned his name, they've never mentioned Jimmy Rave.
So it's significant, yes, because of Jimmy Rave. He's somebody who's no longer with us. But it's also significant beyond Jimmy Rave, right? Like at least to this version of the Prince Nana character. And I feel like they've said enough. Like I've had this robe for a long time. It represents me. It represents the embassy. It represents decades of my history in this world. So I feel like that's already been well established.
I mean, I would just book Ricochet in a match and then just run out and grab this robe. Like, I think that he can't wear it nonstop. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to get this robe that.
What if he keeps it locked in the locker?
Maybe they're gonna put this robe on a pole at Revolution. Maybe that will be what is at stake here. But yes, Nana's at a crossroads of his career.
So introducing this, I think, was probably the most interesting thing about the entire segment. They are introducing another like tease of a breakup between Swerve and Nana, and this time, I wonder if they'll actually execute it, because I think
if they are, then it should be Nana joining Ricochet.
Exactly, and that's why I feel like Ricochet could actually win. I think Swerve losing to Ricochet, even without like any sort of interference, like let's say he just somehow loses, okay, and Nana doesn't turn, I think also creates some really interesting narrative material, because I want to see a, a Swerve feel awful about not being able to do this for Nana. And to further that, if Ricochet destroys this robe, that would just, I really want him to do that. I want him to take those scissors and cut that robe up, just so I could see the result, and the tension that, will develop between Nana and Swerve.
Yeah, I mean, you could go multiple ways too. I mean, yes, the scissors are the obvious one, but given that it's Swerve, he could also light it on fire.
Swerve would do that? Why would, oh, you mean Ricochet would light it
Ricochet
on
would
fire.
do it for
Right. If you like this video, consider joining our Patreon, the Post Wrestling Cafe. Multiple bonus podcasts every week, ad-free shows, and access to our full archive. Otherwise, a like and subscribe is much appreciated. Thank you for watching.